Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, it is a balmy 1 degrees here today. Supposed to be in the teens, I think 15, 18 degrees for the high. But tomorrow, finally get a warm up, we might maybe get close to or even break the freezing mark. But it's just beginning for some folks to the south of us. The southernmost states, the southernmost areas of those states, basically along the Gulf Coast, the Gulf of America coast, apparently now after yesterday's executive order, is getting ready to, and I think already started in some places, experience a winter storm and a blizzard. They have a blizzard warning. I mean, this thing goes from like Brownsville, Texas, all the way across the Florida Panhandle into the East Coast. This is crazy. In fact, I was reading one meteorologist said this is the first time they've ever had these kind of predictions for that area. Yeah, so global warming is, I mean, it's freezing areas. You know, as much as we joke about that, I think the more concerning thing is if if the pendulum is swinging the other way and we're actually getting quite cold and abnormal weather in areas that we shouldn't have it. You know, it's too early to tell if that's what's going on or if it's just a weird thing, but we do have weather cycles, and I feel for the folks down there today. I mean, you know, as much as where I live in North would laugh at what they're going to get and what they're going to experience, the fact is those folks and their whole infrastructure is not designed to handle that. You know, like where I live, you know, water lines are buried underground, and you have heat tape on the water lines, and then further north it's even more extreme. That down there they don't even half the time bury their water lines or have them in, you know, inside their house. They'll have water lines attached to the outside of the house. So having things freeze up and will just cause general problems with snow removal and the cold and all that. It could be pretty serious. So if you live in those areas, I hope that you've taken precautions for it and are just ready to deal with the potential craziness from people that have no clue how to live with snow and cold. So it could be interesting. If nothing else, for all the people up north, you'll have an entertaining time watching the very deep south of the United States handle some winter weather. But anyways, yesterday was a very interesting day. I think the biggest highlight, other than the obvious of Trump getting sworn into office, was the amount of executive orders and executive actions taken. I'm not going to sit here and list every single one of them, but there was some pretty significant ones definitely done, and supposed to have more throughout the week where he is signing off on more things. I think they're predicting at least a couple of hundred of these things. And to be honest with you, most everything I've seen so far, I think it's good, it's exciting, but you also have to start to kind of dig in and see that a lot of it, it's not as big a deal as what it sounds like. Some of these, you have to understand, an executive action or executive order is not law. That's not a law. It can't change the Constitution. It can't change law. All it can do is he can direct the people, the staff under his authority, basically as a CEO of the executive branch. He can direct the people that work under him to do different things, but he can't actually change the law. So, you know, ending birthright citizenship is not something that you can do by executive order, because that's it's part of the Constitution, how it was, you know, one of the Bill of Rights. So, you know, a lot of people are thinking that some of these things, the laws will be changed, and they're not. They're not changing the laws. It may change how they're enforced, but they're not changing the laws through executive actions. But it you know, if nothing else, it shows that the intention, I guess you could say. On the other hand, people are saying that it may just be that he's just trying to play to his base. I don't know. but there's definitely a lot of them, and it looks insane, the amount of change that's happening. Even though I have not been the biggest Donald Trump fan, I will clearly admit that he's way better than Joe Biden was or Kamala Harris would have been. And I wish him the best of luck, and I wish him the complete success in being a good president and bringing back America to more freedom and tradition, if that's what happens. Because that affects us all. Do I want another horrible leader? Do I want someone that's going to be a dictator? Of course not. So I hope and that I pray that the right decisions are made. But on the other hand, we also have to realize that there are other powers that be. There's other factors into everything, and then Donald Trump is just a man. And so, you know, while we, or many of you, may be excited at what's happening, we have to realize that these big powers that are trying to change things towards New World Order, towards Great Reset, all that kind of stuff, it's still going on. In fact, Donald Trump is supposed to be speaking at the Davos meeting, the World Economic Forum meeting. And one of the, I think it wasn't Klaus Schwab, but one of the top people at the World Economic Forum said that Donald Trump getting elected and speaking at the Davos meeting is breathing new life into the World Economic Forum, and they're excited that Donald Trump is going to be part of that. And you know, you look at some of the people he surrounded himself, while they may all of a sudden, you know, start talking like they're small government or conservative or whatever, a freedom kind of type of person. These people have a very nasty track record of being big globalists. So we always have to keep our guard up. And that's why I've been pushing everyone to keep getting yourselves prepared, because just because Donald Trump is in office and all of these things are happening that look really good, now is not the time to be letting your guard down. I would say right now, for most of you in the South, focus on the weather. Focus on that, because it's you're going to struggle, and you might say, well, we're prepared, you know, we were ready. If you live down there in the South, you know what I'm talking about. It's not you that you have to worry about. It's the crazy people around you that will lose their mind because they have no concept of how to exist in a cold, snowy environment. They just don't. So be ready for that. Everyone else, just keep getting prepared. I mean, keep trying to improve your life, and really that is what preparedness is, in my opinion. It's just improving oneself, getting ourselves in a physical and mental sense back to where we were meant to be, how we were created to be, how our ancestors, humanity has existed for forever, which is where we're taking care of our own lives. We're not depending on someone else. We're not pushing off the responsibility to someone else or some other entity. And that's where we need to be getting. And then obviously with the spiritual sense of just becoming stronger and stronger in our faith and our belief and our connectedness with the Father and the Son, because the evilness that's out there and the evilness that is growing, we have to be ready for it. So anyways, keep watching the weather. If you're not down there dealing with it, at least say a prayer for those folks, because it looks pretty gnarly. It really does. And like I said, these are areas that never experienced something like this before. So they're going to need all the help and the prayers they can get. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.